Anakin, I'm appointing you to be my personal representative on the Jedi Council.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? Put me on the council and not make me a master? It's never been done in the history of the Jedi. It's insulting.
Hello there. Many years ago, Anakin Skywalker was given the position of Jedi Council member by Yoda and by Mace Windu, but unfortunately he was not given the position of Jedi Master for various reasons, and there have been many debates over the course of the past several years, and over the course of the past several months, there's been a debate on whether or not Anakin Skywalker actually deserved to become a Jedi Master, or if there was just many reasons why he shouldn't have been a Jedi Master in the first place. So today we are going to be talking about Anakin Skywalker, whether or not he wanted to actually become a Jedi Master, how he could have become a Jedi Master, and whether or not he deserved to be one. So without further ado, here we go. But first, as always, we start at the very beginning. During the time of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Anakin Skywalker was rejected by the Jedi High Council to become a Jedi. This obviously did not go over so well with Qui-Gon Jinn, insisting that they must train Anakin Skywalker because obviously he was the chosen one, but the Jedi Council did not care. They feared about whether or not his training would lead him to the dark side, they feared about his emotions with his mother, they feared everything about Anakin Skywalker, which is really ironic considering the fact that fear leads to the dark side. But it was eventually because of Obi-Wan Kenobi's insistence to train Anakin Skywalker after the death of Qui-Gon Jinn that Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to train Anakin Skywalker, and Anakin became a Jedi of the Jedi Order. Over the course of the next 10 years, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker trained alongside each other, they went on missions alongside each other, and they spent 10 years effectively doing everything that a master and apprentice do, and it was not very good on Obi-Wan Kenobi or Anakin Skywalker's part, considering the fact that the two of them were not meant to be Jedi Master and Jedi Apprentice. Whether or not that was actually Qui-Gon Jinn's job is still to be, determined, but he was very determined to be the master of Anakin Skywalker later on down the line. If it wasn't for Darth Maul, who knows what could have happened eventually. But either way, Anakin Skywalker eventually becomes a Jedi Knight after the issue with the Clone Wars. See, the Clone Wars were going deep in hand, and many Jedi were being slain by both General Grievous and all of the droid armies throughout the entirety of the Trade Federation and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, so that was a major problem. With so many Jedi being killed off, and with so many Knights being spread all throughout the entirety of the Republic, there was only one answer: to avoid the Jedi trials and to just go headfirst into recruiting Jedi Knights from Jedi Padawans and just Jedi in general, and officially putting them out onto the battlefield as both generals and as commanders of the Galactic Republic. Immediately right off the bat, Anakin Skywalker took his job very seriously as a Knight of the Republic. He was immediately given his own legion, being the 501st Legion, who he went on several sieges and several battles with, alongside Captain Rex, Oppo, Jesse, and many others. He was given his own Padawan learner by the name of Ahsoka Tano, who he trained vigorously throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars up until the point where she kind of bailed on the Jedi Order because they didn't do anything after she was accused of terrorism, because why? And throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars, Anakin fought vigorously, fought bravely, saved thousands of people over the course of multiple years, fighting alongside the 501st Legion and fighting alongside Obi-Wan Kenobi and Commander Cody. It wasn't until later on down the line, at about 19 BBY, things started getting a little spicy. Anakin Skywalker was embracing the dark side even more and more after the death of Obi-Wan Kenobi, or at least the apparent death of Obi-Wan Kenobi, after he took over the role as a bounty hunter so he can track down Count Dooku. But that ultimately led Obi-Wan Kenobi to betray Anakin Skywalker in a sense, and for Anakin Skywalker to feel so betrayed that he never really could trust the Jedi Council. And then the entire Ahsoka thing happened, and then Ahsoka came back, and then the Chancellor got kidnapped by General Grievous, and then he had to fight Count Dooku on the Invisible Hand. He ended up killing him, saving the Chancellor, and on top of that, the Chancellor Palpatine, had been manipulating him for years at this point, all the way since he was like 9, and manipulated him into thinking that the Jedi Council wasn't really correct, the Jedi Council was corrupt, the Jedi Council didn't take the interests of the people of the Republic at heart, and that they also didn't really care about Anakin Skywalker being the chosen one, despite the fact that he'd really shown over the course of the past 4 or 5 years, in fact, all the way since he was a kid, that he was extremely proficient in the Force, lightsaber combat, and everything in between. So the writing on the wall was effectively that Anakin Skywalker was an extremely powerful Jedi who saved thousands of people, who was probably one of the most powerful Jedi in the entirety of the Jedi Order, and who was easily extremely beloved by the entirety of the Republic, but everything came to a head at about 19 BBY, after the death of Count Dooku and after Anakin Skywalker saved Chancellor Palpatine from the Invisible Hand, when he asked Anakin to become his own personal representative on the Jedi Council. Needless to say, the Jedi Council was not very happy about the fact that Palpatine just wanted to throw his own representative onto the Jedi Council, but Anakin Skywalker was the chosen one, so they couldn't exactly say no. So they threw him on the Jedi Council, but they did not grant him the rank of Master, which did not make Anakin very particularly happy, considering the fact that he had led multiple campaigns throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars, had saved thousands of people, fought Count Dooku multiple times, as well as Asajj Ventress, Savage Opress, had fought multitudes of people, had saved more lives than they could count, but he was not given the rank of Master for some reason or another, so yeah, he wasn't very happy about that. Needless to say, this made Anakin not very trustworthy of the Jedi Council, because why wouldn't they put him on the Council? It doesn't make sense. But then he found out that the reason why they didn't throw him onto the Jedi Council as a Master, and the reason why, is because they didn't trust him, but they trusted him to literally spy on Palpatine, who had been his father figure for the past, near 15 years at this point, so I don't understand what they were going for. Either way, Anakin Skywalker doesn't immediately fall under pressure until the Darth Plagueis the Wise quote that Palpatine decides to give Anakin Skywalker, and then he starts questioning everything having to do with the Jedi Council, his own morals, his own beliefs, and about Padme, who was egging him on to talk to Palpatine about the war and to stop it and to make peace with the Confederacy of Independent Systems, which caused him to go even more crazy down the rabbit hole. So to say Anakin Skywalker is under a lot of pressure and is very, 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 very tense is an understatement. Because now we have Palpatine, who gets him to be a part of the Jedi Council, asking him to be his personal representative. We have the Jedi Council, who's telling him to go spy on Palpatine because they think that he has something to do with the Clone Wars. We have Padme telling him to go to the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine to stop the Clone War, even though he's literally been a part of the Clone Wars for the past, God knows, 4 or 5 years now, on top of the fact that he just found out that Palpatine is actually Lord Sidious, the Sith Lord that they've been looking for, who started the Clone Wars, and then the Jedi Council tells him to go wait in the Council Chambers, and then he goes to the Jedi Council Chambers, and he is contemplating whether or not he's going to go save Palpatine or not, because he promised him that he would save his wife's life, and now he has to contemplate either betraying the Jedi Order or betraying his own emotions because he loves his wife too much. Jesus Christ! And over this entire time, Anakin Skywalker is stressed out, underpaid, overworked, and he is about to lose his dang mind, and I do not blame him for that. He should have been a Jedi Council member right off the bat. He should have been a part of the Jedi Council, made a master, and everything would have been fine. Instead, y'all tried to play love games with him and told him to go spy on his freaking non-parental daddy. Why?